Qual a melhor cidade americana para um brasileiro que decide morar nos Estados Unidos? Felipe Fayote. Dude, how am I supposed to know that? Just kidding. Na verdade, essa é a resposta para a próxima pergunta. Your question, Felipe, is great. It's so great that I'm gonna answer it at the end of the video. How's that sound? I'll come back to you. And yes, today is another Q&A video. Question and answers. You got the questions, I've got the answers. Cue the copyright-free music! Okay, now for real, the first question. Iohan Porto wants to know, como é que eu vou saber disso? In English, how am I supposed to know that? How am I supposed to know that? Sei lá, cara. And supposed to, that's a perfect transition to the next question from PHM Magalhaes. I think that's it. Supposed to. É uma frase que a gente escuta direto, mas como usar? Well, there are 3 situations that we use supposed to. 1, quando você fala sobre alguma regra ou obrigação que você deve cumprir. For example, I'm supposed to take out the trash today. E também serve quando você fala do passado, tipo, na verdade era para você tirar o lixo ontem. Actually, you were supposed to take out the trash yesterday. Oops, eu esqueci. Next é quando a gente fala sobre uma expectativa passada. He was supposed to be here by now. Ele já devia estar aqui. Ele devia ter chego já. Eu tô brincando, eu sei que devia ter chego, não tá certo, devia ter chegado, trazido, eu sei disso, but here's the thing, I don't care. And last, we can use supposed to when we're talking about opinião geral, opinião de muitas pessoas. Dizem que, todo mundo diz que this is supposed to be the greatest theme park in the world. Dizem que é o melhor parque temático do mundo. Disney World, obviously. Or, it's supposed to be a good movie. Dizem que o filme é bom. Supposed to. There you go. Next question is, again from our friend Iohan Porto. Não sei como se fala isso em português. Quem dirá em inglês? Esse quem dirá, muito menos em inglês. How do you say that in English? Let alone. Check this out. Having a dog is already too much responsibility, let alone having a kid. Ai, quero nem pensar nisso, na verdade. Sai fora, cara, teu filho. Afasta-te de mim, Satanás. Eu sei nem me cuidar direito, let alone a kid. We can also just say much less, muito menos. Dude, I don't even want to see her, much less spend the entire weekend with her on a camping trip. Let alone much less. Next question is from Thiago C4P. Fala sobre really, pretty, highly, very, quite. Tá bom, vou falar sobre elas. São advérbios de intensidade e são palavras bem legais. Pronto, falei sobre elas. Eu tô zoando, você quer que eu explique elas, tá bom. Na verdade, eu já tenho um vídeo que fala sobre isso, advérbios de intensidade, mas é mais focado em pretty. Então aqui, my hierarchy of advérbios de intensidade. Starting at the top with extremely, and next highly, and then very barra really, porque fazem a mesma coisa, só que really é mais comum. For example, very good, really good. Eu geralmente uso really good. Then quite, pretty, kinda, and barely at the bottom. So that's it. Advérbios de intensidade. Thiago, great question, buddy. Next question is from Barbara Kostad. E ela quer saber sobre como responder quando alguém diz take care. You can say just thanks, you too. Thanks, you too. Ou simplesmente see ya. Bye, porque na verdade take care é só uma despedida, você nem precisa responder nada e não seria estranho. But those are your two options, thanks, you too, or See ya. Alrighty, now a question from Nathanael69. 60. Palavrão. O que realmente significa? Eita, significa, Nathanael, que tu vai pro inferno, porque você falou um palavrão tão feio. I'm just kidding, dude. Mas na verdade é quase isso. Tipo, vai pro inferno. Porque damn significa condenar. E God é o papai do céu, né? Então é mais ou menos que Deus te condene para o inferno, alguma coisa assim. And we use it in like a lot of situations, not just for people, but like a thing, a situation, whatever. Mas muitas pessoas acham esse palavrão muito feio e muito forte. So I recommend that you say, gosh dang it, or gosh darn it. And you can use it for, dude, anything that's like a negative situation, qualquer coisa que te deixa chateado. Gosh dang it, perdeu o ônibus. Gosh dang it, seu time perdeu. Gosh darn it, derrubei o Teres. Gosh dang it. Mas o palavrão eu não recomendo que você use porque é muito forte. But hey, kid, it's up to you, kid. You do whatever you want. Alright, next, Nanda Barras wants to know, em que cidade do Brasil você mais conseguiu aprender PT? That's a great question, Nanda. Quem está pensando em fazer algum tipo de intercâmbio aqui nos Estados Unidos para melhorar o seu inglês, preste atenção, ok? As many of you know, I went to Brazil for the first time as a missionary. As a missionary, you don't get to choose your destination, but I was very fortunate and I was sent to the northern region of Brazil, to a mission area that included o Amazonas, o Acre, Rondônia e Roraima. And as a missionary, every few months, you may be transferred to a different neighborhood, a different city, or even a different state. So, during 2 years, I got the chance to live in many different cities. And I would say that I learned a lot in each different place that I lived in. But a cidade onde eu mais aprendi especificamente sobre o idioma, eu acho que foi Manaus. You know, one, because I spent the most time there, but there were also a few things that made Manaus the best city for me. Então, para responder à pergunta do Felipe Fayote do começo, eu vou falar sobre os 3 fatores que fez Manaus ser a melhor cidade para mim na época. And you can use these 3 factors to choose a city in the US. So first, of course, it depends on your goals. It's different for everybody, but at the time, my goal was specifically learn this darn language. So the first factor is that, as you can imagine, em Manaus não tem muitos falantes nativos de inglês. Até que tinha turistas, mas eu não andava no centro, no teatro, no porto. Eu tinha uma casa alugada no Mutirão e depois no Alvorada 1. Então os Manauara, vocês sabem que não tem falante nativo naqueles lugares. Just me. That's it. E nos poucos casos em que as pessoas chegavam falando inglês pra mim, talvez até seja mal educado, mas eu respondia em português, porque eu decidi logo no começo que eu precisava, mesmo que fosse difícil, de uma imersão no idioma. So first factor is find a place where not many people speak your native language. Number 2, it was a city and a culture that I loved. Of course, I didn't choose Manaus, but it turns out that it was perfect for me. Acontece que era perfeito para mim. It turns out, acontece que, there's another phrase for you. The people, the accent, the architecture, the food, a maneira de comer tudo com colher, até a farinha da água, que parecia pedrinhas, que era capaz de quebrar seu dente. Even that, I loved, dude. You know, I didn't choose Manaus, but it was perfect for me because what I really wanted was something different, dude. Something completely different from anything in the United States. And when you love the place you live, you're more likely to go out and go to new places, meet new people, e você acaba falando muito mais e aprendendo novas palavras todos os dias. So number 2, find a city and a culture that you love. Number 3 is that Manaus presented me with new and increasingly difficult challenges constantly. For example, for the first couple of months, I had an experienced Brazilian companion showing me the ropes. So basically, I just followed him around and did whatever he told me to do. That was my first challenge, is just living, surviving. And then after that, me and my next companion were like equals. So I couldn't just depend on him to say everything. I had to start talking a lot more, and we were equal partners. Then it was my turn to show the ropes to a newbie. I had to train a new guy. I mean, he was Brazilian, but he was very quiet. So I ended up talking a lot. And that was amazing practice for me. And then they put me in charge of all of the money, all the finances, all of the rental properties of the entire organization. After just 7 months in Brazil, dude, just imagine that you come to the United States for the first time, and 7 months later, someone says, hey, call the bank. Hey, make this legal rental contract. It seemed like every few months, as soon as I got comfortable, a new challenge came up and rocked my world. But dude, that's how we learn, and that's how we learn fast. Mudança gera desconforto, e desconforto gera progresso. Eita, falei bonito agora, hein? Wow, that was deep, dude. So that's my advice, Felipe Fayote. Any city in the US is going to be an amazing experience. But if your goal is to master the language, find a city with these 3 factors. Mas, na verdade, estou reparando agora que ele não falou nada sobre o inglês. Então, if you're not worried about the language, if you just want to come live in the US, okay, that's easy. Denver or Chicago. So that's it, guys. I'm sorry this video is a little bit more simple, but this week I'm working on something very important. So I had to make this a little bit simple. This was Q&A number 5. I am gonna go probably lay in my hammock, let's be honest. All right, thanks guys. Peace out. Derrubei o Teres. Gosh, dang it.